Right now in Ghana, a high-stakes corporate battle is unfolding over one of the country's most promising gold deposits. And believe me, this isn't just some disagreement in a boardroom. It is a full-blown standoff that could have huge implications for the entire nation.
And bam, right out of the gate, the stakes are laid bare with this explosive statement. Over $1 billion in potential claims. That tells you straight away that we're not talking about a simple business dispute anymore. This thing has escalated to the highest possible level.
So how in the world did we get to $1 billion threat? Well, it all boils down to this central mystery. One company has publicly announced that it's taken over a massive mining project. The only problem? The legal owners say, no way, that's impossible, and they're calling it an illegal corporate seizure.
Okay, so the battle lines here are drawn crystal clear. On one side, you've got the Ghanaian firm Engineers and Planners, we'll call them ENP, and they're claiming they've taken control. But on the other side, the international fund Ibera Capital, which actually owns the project, is flatly denying it. They're saying not a single share was ever transferred. It's a classic he said, she said, but with a whole lot of zeros attached.
Now that we've set up the conflict, let's take a step back and look at the prize everyone is fighting over. Because this is all about the Black Volta's gold mine, a truly vast deposit of buried treasure that's been decades in the making.
The numbers here are just staggering. We're talking about almost 1.8 million ounces of confirmed gold reserves. This isn't some wild guess or speculative venture anymore. This is a proven, commercially viable operation that's just sitting there, waiting to be built.
And getting to that point was not cheap. Over $120 million has already been poured into just the exploration costs. That's the investment that took this from a high-risk patch of land to a tangible, incredibly valuable asset.
But you know, the stakes here go way beyond just money and gold. This mine is projected to create over 1,400 jobs, and in one of Ghana's poorest regions. We're talking about 1,000 construction jobs to build the thing, and then over 400 permanent roles. The potential economic impact for the local community is just immense.
And to really understand the local context here, you need to know this one word, galamsey. It's the local term for the widespread illegal mining that honestly plagues the region. It causes devastating environmental damage. So a properly regulated project, like the Black Volta mine, is seen as a crucial alternative, one that offers sustainable jobs and manages the resources responsibly.
So let's meet the main characters in this drama and see how this all began. Because you know, before there was a fight, there was actually a deal, a partnership, that was supposed to bring this mine to life.
The two main players here are really a study in contrasts. You've got Ibera Capital, that's the international private equity fund that owns the project. They brought the technical know-how and the big money that proved the gold was there. And on the other side, you've got Engineers and Planners, a local Ghanaian firm led by Ibrahim Mahama, who happens to be the brother of Ghana's president. They came in to help fund the mine's development. But wait, it's not just a two-party dispute. The plot thickens because other powerful institutions are getting involved. There's a regional development bank that suddenly announced financing for a deal the owner says doesn't exist. And Ghana's own Minerals Commission is in the mix too. All of this just adds layers of complexity, and frankly, raises some serious questions about political influence.
So how did a partnership that had so much promise just completely fall apart? A deal that was designed to build a mine has somehow built a path straight to the courtroom instead.
This timeline really shows you just how fast everything went south. The partnership gets signed in late 2023. By the middle of the next year, there are already financial disputes. By the end of that year, Iberoya terminates the whole agreement. And then, things get really strange in 2025. It all culminates in ENP withdrawing from legal arbitration and just announcing it has taken over the company. It is an unbelievably bold move.
And that brings us to the really big question. Why does this all matter so much? Why is it more than just a corporate feud? Well, the outcome of this dispute could have profound consequences for Ghana's reputation as a safe place for international investment.
And this quote from analyst Bright Simons just captures the core fear perfectly. Power anarchy. What a phrase. It's the idea that political connections could become more important than legal contracts or actual merit. And if that perception takes hold, it could scare away the very foreign capital that Ghana needs to develop its resources. So let's just quickly break down that broader fallout. First, this whole thing is a direct test of Ghana's commitment to the rule of law. Second, it absolutely deters foreign investment, not just in mining, but across the board. It also puts environmental protection at risk, because a regulated mine is stuck in limbo while that illegal galamsey mining continues.
and the shockwaves could really damage investor confidence across the entire region.
Which leaves us with this final, critical question. When it comes to developing a nation's natural wealth, what's ultimately going to win out? The globally accepted rules of law and commerce, or the influence of local power dynamics? The way this Black Volta standoff gets resolved is going to give us a very, very clear answer.